Hi everyone, Rashid here, and this lesson will help you prepare IELTS listening completion questions. These are very common questions in IELTS listening, and they test your two skills, paraphrasing and summarizing. Let's get going. So what you will find in this lesson is some essential information about these questions, very useful tips and strategies, an example to help you understand these questions clearly, and finally, one golden tip for you to improve your listening skills in completion questions. You will be given the summary of the audio that summarizes what is being said in it. That's your question. This summary has different words, but same meaning with some missing information. And your job is to understand what is missing that you have to write and find from the audio. This type of question can form many subtypes. In these questions, you may find a list of statements, summary, notes, or a table with blanks to be filled after listening to the audio. In other words, you are given short statements which are a kind of short notes on the basis of audio conversation you're going to listen to. And these blanks, they are the missing information that you have to fill in after listening to the audio. If these questions appear in section 1, you will be required to fill in specific information like dates, name, address, price, etc. That's very basic information you hear in everyday life. But in later sections, the same type of questions can be a bit more challenging. The notes and the questions on them are in the same order as the information you hear. You must write exactly the same words in the missing places that you hear in the audio. As you will be given some time to read these questions, 30 seconds for about 4 to 5 or 6 questions in section 1, 2, and 3, and 1 minute in section 4, 60 seconds to read and understand 10 questions. So use this time very carefully because all of your score depends on this time. Because if you understand the questions carefully, you will be able to answer the questions. If you don't understand the questions, there is no way you can answer these questions. You should be very careful not to go over the word limit. The instructions will normally say not more than 2 words and or a number, but read the instructions carefully to make sure. You won't have to write everything you hear. It is some specific information that you have to write. You must know the nature of that information before you listen to the audio. Predicting what type of word will go into each gap helps you to be ready to hear it during the recording. For example, check out if you have to write the name of a person, date, etc. here. One tip that can come very handy is checking if the missing information is a noun, adjective, adverb, etc. The words you hear in the conversation would be different from the ones written in the questions, except for those you have to write. The extra information in between the answers may be sometimes quite long and sometimes short. Read these questions. What do you think the missing information is? You don't know the exact answer, but you can well guess by reading the words before and after the blank that it has to do with the number. Is that right? Now you know what is missing. You have a clear understanding of what you have to extract or get out of the audio. Since it's clear, now you will get the answer very easily. But there is a catch here. IELTS listening test has not just answers, it has distractors too. They are there so that they can judge you whether you have this ability to get exactly the right information that you're looking for. Let's understand this by this example. Our answer is cost.
I need to know how much it costs. The girls want a double room to themselves. They don't want to share with other people.
That makes it more expensive. The price is under $30 for a bed in a dormitory, but they'll be paying $50 a night. But if they become members of Hosteling International, the price comes down to $41 a night. Membership costs $35.
But you see that there are some other costs mentioned in the audio, but they are not relevant. If you are trying to match the words without listening carefully, you might pick an incorrect answer. The answer is not membership cost. The answer is not the cost of bed or dormitory. It is the cost of double room for members. If you have not clearly understood the question or haven't underlined the key words, you will be in trouble. You must spell everything correctly, but both British English and American English spellings are acceptable. The words that you write as answer must fit into context grammatically. This is one way to tell if your answer is correct. If it doesn't fit, you have probably chosen a wrong answer. One more thing. Listen to the conversation and focus on each question in turn. As soon as you have written the answer, move to the next question. That's very important. And you need to listen for the next answers. If you have missed an answer, there's no use sitting on the same answer and keep thinking. You would miss the remaining answers too. Finally, one last golden tip. If you want to improve your score after the practice test, always recheck why your answers went wrong. Check why you missed the answers. Was it that you didn't understand the question, or you missed the audio, etc.? It will guide you how not to repeat the same mistakes again. So follow these tips that you have learned today about IELTS listening completion questions, and you will see a visible improvement. This is Rashid, and I'll see you in the next video.